now. And should I just let everybody in at this point?
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Yeah, okay. All right. I am doing that.
Hi,
Welcome, Ann.
thank you.
Oh my God, so awkward.
I think that if
We're in and we can hear,
see it says Leonard, or if I don't click on that,
but we don't want to be
you won't be on there
good.
in your name.
All right, we are going to start the meeting. If we could ask everybody to mute yourself so we don't have background noise coming on. Good evening. This is the Human Rights Commission for the City of Palm Springs meeting Monday, February 14, 2022. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone. I officially call our meeting to order and we will move into a roll call.
Okay, so thank you, Mr. Chair, and everyone, if we could have you mute your microphones, please. Commissioner Loyola,
Present.
Commissioner Vignolo,
Okay, dear.
Present.
Commissioner Robles,
Thank you, you too.
Present.
Commissioner Andrade, Commissioner Flood,
Here.
Commissioner Ramaran,
Present.
Vice Chair Shepherd,
Present.
Commissioner Cleary, and Chair DeHart. We have quorum, Mr. Chair.
And our student representative, Jane?
Student Representative Lily Hanner.
Who's there?
There's a TV.
Margaret's iPad, she's there. Carrie,
I
Chris,
don't believe.
they're all there. Naomi's daughter-in-law, Carrie.
All right, excellent.
Right.
So maybe Jay, if you could control the mute button on folks, that will help us keep background noise down.
Am I in the room?
Excellent. We will move on to item 5. Jay, do we have any public comments for tonight's meeting?
Nothing submitted, Mr. Chair. If you'd like to ask the public if they have anything, that's fine.
Is there anybody on call who's intending to make public comments tonight? Please raise your hand or speak up so we can see you. If not, that's perfectly fine. And I don't see any, we will move right on into item 6. And I will make, the only comment I had as we start off the meeting is we just wanted to make sure everyone knows that there is a public hearing on February 24th at 7 p.m. To get public input regarding the potential redistricting of the city council districts and possible adoption of new district boundaries. The public is invited to attend or submit information regarding their communities of interest and proposed district boundaries for the redistricting process. And again, that's a February 24, 7 p.m. Zoom meeting, and you can get more information online through the city's website if you're interested in submitting comments. And now we will move into item 6. See how we move through our agenda here? Isn't this great? We will go right into item 6. And I will officially give a welcome to all of our honorees and guests who are attending today. Today's meeting is really a wonderful opportunity for the human rights community in all of our diversity to come together and understand the values that drive the work that we do during the year. Thank you all for being with us. And commissioners that are with us today are the Vice Chair Donna Shepard. They will also be doing some of the presentations. Commissioner Terry Andrade, Glenn Flood, Edward Ramaran, Kalina Robles, David Vignolo, and Student Representative Lily Hanner will also be providing introductions. In addition, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome our city staff colleagues, Annie Rodriguez, Housing Program Assistant, and Jay Verada, our Director of Community and Economic Development, for joining us and supporting us in this very special program. I'm Rhonda Hart. I'm a resident of Palm Springs, and I'm a proud gay married Mexican father of 2, and I serve as the chairperson of the Human Rights Commission. Related to our mission to promote and protect the diversity of our community and to improve the human relations through education and community awareness, the Human Rights Commission acknowledges that the land we live and work on today is the original homelands of the Agua Caliente Band of Cahuilla Indians. The sovereign band of Agua Caliente people have stewarded this land throughout the generations and continue to steward this land for all future generations. We honor and respect the many diverse indigenous peoples still connected to this land on which we live, work, and gather as a community. And now we will, to share with you a little bit about the commission, we will share a short video. I just need to get it going. And here we go. That gives you a nice little introduction to the commission and where we have come here in the city of Palm Springs. So today, as the program gets underway, we're all about community. We celebrate the contributions and achievements with the City of Palm Springs Human Rights Commission's Community Service Awards. The city, our community, and organizations, along with every individual, play a critical role in ensuring fundamental rights are realized for all residents. Since the commission was first established 29 years ago with a mandate to monitor the city's performance in meeting its human rights obligations, our role then and now is to promote respect for the rights and dignity of everyone in Palm Springs and to work with others to help build communities that are fair and inclusive. This dedicated commission stands ready to support the goals of and to serve the City Council of Palm Springs. Through the years, when people faced discrimination, harassment, or human rights breaches, the commission has been there to provide information and to mediate complaints. Many positive changes have taken place, but in today's political climate, we see real challenges remain. Human rights is not ancient history. It's about today's reality of suffering and unjust actions. We seek constructive, respectful conversations to try and bridge these differences. We all have a role to account for the compliance with human rights laws and basic principles that prohibit discrimination on the grounds of age, sex, race, color, religion, national origin, gender, gender identity, gender expression, sexual orientation, or disability. The Commission has been engaged in the community from its very beginning. In October of 1993, the Human Rights Commission led discussions on racial tension in the community. They facilitated communications between Sunline Transit Agency and the disability community. Early areas of focus for the Commission included domestic abuse, hate crimes, protections of senior citizens, and access to housing for all. In 1999, the Commission was instrumental in working with the City Council to adopt the Declaration of Sorry about that. To adopt the Declaration of Policy for Protections of Human Dignity and Prevention of Hate Crimes. The next year, the Domestic Partnership Ordinance was presented to City Council on January 5th, 2000. Culminating the efforts of the Human Rights Commission to address the homeless issues in the city on May 3rd, 2000, the council adopted a policy for addressing the issues of poverty and the homeless. In 2002, the commission was the first city commission to establish a position for youth representatives to serve. This tradition continues today, and now youth have the opportunity to serve on other city commissions. After laws passed in 2000-2001 by the state mandating school districts provide safe environments for all students, the commission led the effort to provide training to Palm Springs high school students so they could establish the very first gay-straight alliance on campus. The commission even assisted in submitting the applications so the campus GSA would be recognized as part of the national GSA network. The commission has provided education, training, and forums where numerous topics have been addressed, including homelessness, mental illness, elder abuse, supporting caregivers, preventing domestic abuse, the DREAM Act, the media and discrimination, and women's participation in city government. The commission has also responded to important issues and many opportunities to educate, which had included presentations on religious intolerance, women's issues, hate crimes, gay veterans, court-appointed special advocates, human trafficking, transgender rights, persons with disabilities, and ageism and the rights of seniors and dependent adults. And we recently invited the Palm Springs Unified School District to speak on current measures our schools have in place to achieve safe and supportive school experiences for our youth. We are following the impact of several pieces of legislation that provide youth with equal access to educational programs at Palm Springs Unified School District. Our specific interest is to learn of the success and challenges of implementing the School Success and Opportunity Act, SES Law, and the Fair Education Act. In early 2017, the Homelessness Subcommittee report was submitted to City Council by then Commissioner Holstege. The report reviewed one of the most referenced concerns over the Commission's 29 years, our homeless population. Since the Community Awards were first presented on December 6, 2001, they have had a high standard and a rich history of inspirational and prestigious winners. The 2022 Human Rights Commission Community Service Awards are presented to some extraordinary individuals and organizations who've made outstanding contributions to our community. They shine a light on injustice and give voice to those who are rarely heard. They work to stop racism, to save natural and cultural resources. They advocate for the elders. They promote fair and respectful treatment of women. They fight to end discrimination based on sexual orientation and gender identity, and they work close on to close the gap on health inequality. If you can say nothing or do nothing, nothing changes. The honorees today are not the say nothing kind of people. They are the heart of our community. And to get us going with our first award, I will call on Vice Chair Shepherd to do the introduction. Donnie, you're muted. There we go.
Thank you very much, Ron. I'm so excited today to welcome our first honoree, Ann Sheffer, the most recent past chair of the Palm Springs Arts Commission. Ann is recognized for providing leadership to support Palm Springs' effort to invest in local arts during the COVID-19 outbreak. Ann helped us as a community to examine what it means to be human, to voice and express, and to bring people and ideas together through art. With the belief that arts build social cohesion and address social equality, racial awareness, and civic engagement, Ann's leadership of the Palm Springs Art Commission helped our city cope with the COVID crisis. Artists are rightfully looked to as second responders in times of crisis. They support mental and physical health outcomes and community resilience and rebuilding. They help us escape and dream, cope and mourn, believe and heal, and imagine and create. Recognized for her vision and leadership in a time of crisis to demonstrate how arts create community and allow us to communicate from afar, Ann Sheffer helped generate positivity in the community, appreciation, and hope during COVID-19. The 2022 Community Service Award is presented by the Palm Springs Human Rights Commission to Ann Sheffer. Congratulations, Ann.
All right, Ann.
Thank you, Donna and members of the commission, and thank you for sending me my award in New York.
Wonderful.
Pretty fun. And I also want to thank you in recognizing what the Public Arts Commission did for coming up with the term second responders for artists, which I think is just brilliant. And those of you who know me know that I could talk endlessly about the power of the arts. But what I think is important to this award is that in March 2020, when everything shut down, we were able to use a trendy word, pivot, and start to move quickly with temporary but relevant and meaningful art throughout the city. And I think that's where we really saw what the arts could do. But first, I have to start by recognizing the members of the commission during those past 2 years: Russell Pritchard, Shonda Thomas Favreau, Tracy Merrigan, Mara Gladstone, Tom Yanni, and Al Murray. And those who were on the commission when I joined it in 2015, Bonnie Ratan, Ann Rowe, Amy Sands, Melanie Brennan, and Josh Edmondson. And I have to thank the City Council for their support of what often didn't seem to fit their perception of public art, and Jay Verada for understanding why public art is part of his Department of Community and Economic Development and supporting us all the way. And of course, former city manager David Reddy, who was willing to give us the benefit of the doubt that what we were proposing was not only a legitimate part of our mission, but effective and fun. Finally, because we're an official city commission, we felt it was important to reach out and work with other city departments and commissions and the public. So we did projects with the Parks and Rec Department, the Airport Commission, the Chamber of Commerce, Main Street and Downtown PS, 1PS, the Palm Springs Art Museum, Desert X, and very importantly, the downtown building owners who let us use their storefronts and windows for these murals and activations. And most especially Michael Braun from Grit Development, who not only let us play in his pit, but also actively offered and suggested locations where we could put public art. So for those of you who are wondering if painting 40 benches, 30 traffic boxes, and commissioning dozens of murals, sculptures, and interactive installations is really public art, let me tell you that our goal during COVID was to bring some joy and color to downtown, to reflect what was going on in the larger world, such as the murals of George Floyd and Amanda Gorman, and what I'm most proud of, paying more than 60 artists during a tough time for them. So thank you again for recognizing the importance of the arts, not just in times of crisis, but as an important part of our daily lives and our community's culture. Thank you.
Congratulations, Anne, and thank you very much for all the work you do and you have done in the community. Next, I invite Commissioner Loyola to introduce our next honoree.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening. Our next honoree is Vincent Corrales. Vincent is recognized for turning his belief and sincerity to serve others into action. He is a warrior for humanity and serves the community in selfless and loving ways. During the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, Vincent publicly offered to run errands and shop for groceries for those 60 years or older confined to their home due to having a compromised immune system or other conditions that prevented them from being out in public. His compassion drives him to regularly prepare meals for the area homeless. Vincent is a testament to the impact one individual can have on the unsheltered, the hungry, and those in need. He has prepared hundreds of traditional Thanksgiving meals for families who otherwise would go without Thanksgiving. Vincent is credited for improving the quality of life in Palm Springs one life at a time. He also volunteers for various organizations and events, and he's a regular writer and fundraiser for AIDS Life Cycle. Please welcome Vincent Corrales, who is recognized with the Community Service Award for 2022. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I'm very, very honored. I'm a little bit shy to talk in front of a bunch of people, but I'm just very honored for this. My journey doesn't stop here. We all have a lot of work to do to support those who are hungry and less fortunate and on the street. A lot of the meals I delivered were to actually people who were housed, who had homes, but could not afford food. So this whole process could not have been possible if it wasn't for all the volunteers that helped prepare all these turkeys, because I have a very small kitchen. But thanks to everybody out there who volunteered. Some people donated food, some people cooked turkeys and helped me prepare meals and stuff. I couldn't have done it without the community support. So I want to thank the Palm Springs Human Rights Commission for this award. And I'm very honored, and the work continues. Thank you.
Excellent, Vincent. Do you have your award with you?
I do.
Let's hold it up and show everybody. There we go. Beautiful. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Vincent. Okay, next, Commissioner Flood will come and introduce our next honoree.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The next honoree is Jimmy Bogle. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Jimmy is recognized for aligning business goals and initiatives with causes and social issues that benefit the broader community during a time of significant challenges for him personally. As founder, editor, and publisher of the Coachella Valley Independent, he is committed to keeping the community informed of the pandemic science and data for the medical community. Jimmy is credited credited for keeping honest, ethical, independent local journalism alive during the COVID crisis, while at the same time supporting nonprofit organizations, promoting youth housing, and access to health and social services. Like most businesses, revenue streams were severely impacted during the pandemic. The changing economy and competition from tech platforms made it difficult to continue to deliver honest, local, and transparent journalism. Jimmy, however, stayed true to his values and commitment to the community he serves, and continued to keep the community informed so they could manage the pandemic safely and make informed decisions. I'm proud to say that I hope Jimmy continues his work, and congratulations, Jimmy Wolf.
Thank you so much. Thank you to the Human Rights Commission for the award, which I got, which is lovely. Thank you very much. I think every small business owner in town probably had a moment in March or April of 2020 when they weren't quite sure if their business was going to make it through this, because the word unprecedented has been used so much and too much, but it really was insane what happened when the pandemic came, because no matter how much you prepared for the worst case scenario, I don't think anyone could prepare for this. But our challenge was also at this really tough time for businesses trying to cover one of the biggest stories of our generation. And so we did the best we could. We asked our readers for help. We asked advertisers for help. And I just want to thank everyone who supported The Independent, either as an advertiser or becoming a financial supporter, or just sending a kind word and saying, thank you, what you do has meaning. So I just want to thank my husband, Garrett, who's been very, very supportive, and I couldn't be doing this without him because someone needs to actually make an income in the family. But I really just appreciate the town, and I appreciate the commission for this award, and most of all our readers, because without our readers, what we're kind of doing is pointless.
Congratulations, Jimmy. Thank you. And for the next award, our Commissioner Vignolo will do the introduction.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and good evening, everyone. Our next honorees saw a need in the community, and they rose to the occasion and created a solution to help vulnerable populations access COVID-19 information and services. And I'm pleased that I volunteered with this organization for several months as well. And Vaccinate Inland Empire, or VAXI, is a volunteer grassroots organization that has helped more than 78,000 people since February 2021 navigate the always changing COVID-19 vaccination system here in Southern California. VAXI was founded to address the need to provide equal vaccine access for all. The founders, Ria Hoffman and Callista Vasios, saw that senior citizens struggled to navigate online appointment systems, and undocumented and homeless communities didn't really know where to get vaccinated without being turned away. The VAXI provides a free service and assists qualified individuals, especially those with work and time constraints, mobility issues, and those without computers, in scheduling vaccination appointments, including booster vaccinations. What started as really two friends concerned about most at-risk neighbors has turned into a growing organization with more than 25 volunteers. So I'm pleased to recognize with the 2022 Community Service Award and welcome Ria Hoffman and Callista Vasios, the founders of Vaccinate Inland Empire.
Yay, all right. Ah, beautiful.
Thank you for having us. We feel really honored to receive this award. It definitely started as two moms that had children at home with distance learning. That's why you see all of our children around us in the background. But we wouldn't be where we are today without our volunteers. At the height, we had over 25 volunteers that stepped in to help us, and we did serve almost 80,000 people to help them get vaccinated. not just throughout the Coachella Valley, but it really turned global at one point. So we are blessed to be able to serve so many, and we feel very appreciative that you were able to acknowledge us tonight. So thank you for that.
Excellent. Thank you. And congratulations. Thanks for stepping up when you saw that there was a need in the community. That's fantastic. Okay, our next honoree is going to be, I'm just making sure I can find them. Give me a moment. We've got very good attendance today, so it's taking me a minute to go through the list of names. Next honoree is Commissioner Ramaran will do the introduction for us. Commissioner Ramaran.
Our next honoree is the Desert Healthcare Foundation, who is recognized for establishing and leading the Coachella Valley Equity Collaborative, CVEC. CVEC has successfully linked community and faith-based organizations, government agencies, and local farm owners together to address the COVID-19 epidemic and ensure a coordinated effort to maximize resources and prevent overlap in services and outreach. The CVEC has coordinated training, established weekly testing sites for area students, school staff, and community members, and conducted testing clinics at events. Since the launch of the first COVID-19 vaccine event at Tudor Ranch, Inc. in January 2021, many on-site registrations and vaccination events have been held. As of November 2021, more than 219 COVID-19 vaccination clinics have administered 36,785 COVID-19 vaccines to district residents. Recognized for increasing awareness, visibility, and access to COVID-19 related health services by establishing and leading the Coachella Valley Equity Collaborative, please welcome Karen Borja, President, Board of Directors, to accept the 2022 Community Service Award.
Excellent. Yay.
Thank you all. Good evening to the Palm Springs community, to the Palm Springs Human Rights Commission, and to city staff for having us today. Our Desert Healthcare District and Foundation CEO, Conrado, actually has our plaque to share with you all. And on behalf of the Desert Healthcare District and Foundation Board, I want to humbly say thank you for honoring us tonight. The Palm Springs Human Rights Commission is a distinguished body that in its 30-year history has held true the power of equity for all. Similarly, the Desert Healthcare District and Foundation strive to complete a mission that allows all district residents across the Coachella Valley to achieve optimal health at all stages of life. To do this work, we thank many times over the Desert Highlands Gateway Health and Wellness Committee, Borrego Health, DAP Health, Desert Oasis, Desert Regional Medical Center, among some of our local Palm Springs partners. During the pandemic, the Desert Healthcare District and Foundation established the Coachella Valley Collaborative. This week, we are very proud to celebrate that more than 30,000 Coachella Valley residents have become vaccinated. With the support of your city, Palm Springs residents, and many others across the valley, we have held 234
Hey, Chad, it's Rhonda Hart.
Hi, Ron.
Are you on the call for the awards ceremony?
Oh, I'm sorry. I got caught up with the restaurant. I'll go on.
No worries. No worries.
Okay, I'll continue. And we have also held 93 testing events. The staff at the Desert Healthcare District and Foundation are mighty, knowledgeable, and stewards of the district's mission. Please stay in touch with us on social media, visit our website, dhcd.org. After tonight's event, you'll see a calendar of COVID testing sites that are close to you, how our grant funds get distributed, and other important mission-driven efforts to complete this work across the Coachella Valley. Once more, I want to say thank you so much to the Palm Springs Human Rights Commission on behalf of the board and our staff for honoring us tonight. We humbly appreciate it, and thank you all.
Ron, you're mute. Unmute yourself.
It sounded really good when I said congratulations, Karen, and thank you for all the work that you and the board and the foundation has done in the community, not just this last year, but for the years past. Keep up the great work. Commissioner Andrade will introduce our next honoree. Commissioner Andrade, you're on.
Thank you, Chair DeHart. It's a well-known fact that our communities are made stronger, safer, and more connected by the efforts of those who give generously of their time to improve the lives of others. Nikki Stone is one such individual. Her many years of volunteerism have contributed to making Palm Springs the caring and benevolent community that it is. The giving of one's time, energy, and talent with no expectation of compensation or recognition has been a guiding value for Nikki her entire adult life. She maintains a belief that volunteers are the heart and soul of every community. She has exemplified that value with over 10 years of service with Volunteer Palm Springs, an organization that partners with local nonprofits in the pursuit of making a positive difference in our city. Nikki has also enjoyed a long-standing relationship with the Ophelia Project, mentoring at-risk teen girls in our school district, providing life-changing guidance and support for their futures. In addition, she has contributed countless hours to Planned Parenthood. This year, her emphasis on the Real Women's Film Festival helped raise over $70,000. And with her strong commitment to furthering the inclusion, acceptance, and equitable treatment of all people, Nikki's advocacy for human rights is demonstrated by her past work with both Safe House and Well in the Desert. Please join me in welcoming and congratulating Nikki Stone, who's honored this evening with a 2022 Community Service Award for her dedication to the beneficial and sustainable impact of volunteerism in our community.
Terry and Ron and the entire board of the Human Rights Commission, thank you so much for this honor and recognition. I really am humbled to be among such auspicious honorees this evening. The reason that I'm being recognized this evening is that I am called a stellar example of what it means to give back to the community, and that I believe volunteers are the heart and soul of the community. And I believe this with all my heart. As a stellar example of what it means to give back to my community, I go back to the day I arrived in Palm Springs driving a red 300Z Nissan, a red hot sports car. I had just turned 50 years old and had been hired by Desert Regional Medical Center as the director of volunteer services. Right in front of me were 300 volunteers, old, young, straight, gay, all colors of the rainbow, willing to be of service to our community. And boy, did they serve. By the way, they're still serving. I created the Volunteer Summer Program for our local teens and the volunteer program for Hanson House, a type of Ronald McDonald home right here in Palm Springs. So I know how valuable volunteers are. I know the benefits of volunteering, how one person can make a difference, how you learn new skills, how you make new friends, how you can challenge yourself, and how much fun volunteering is. I stand on the shoulders of those already setting an example of service to our community. 20 years have passed, and it was time for me to retire as the director of volunteer services at the hospital. What was I going to do for my second act? Volunteer, of course. I love every volunteer experience. It keeps me sharp, it keeps me young, and it even gets me recognition from this very prestigious board, who are all volunteers. Volunteering does help improve the quality of our community. To all of you, thank you, and keep on volunteering. Thank you.
Excellent. And I see you have a fan club in the background there cheering you on also.
I certainly do, Ron. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Okay, let's see who we've got next here. Please bear with me one moment. Actually, you heard me call on Chad, who had not dialed in yet. Chad is just now coming on, so we'll give him a minute. And Dean, I don't see Dean. Are you with us right now?
Mr. Chair, I just checked with him. He said he'll be on. He has an emergency at the restaurant and he'll be on as soon as he can.
Okay, great. We're keeping an eye out for Chad.
I am here.
Excellent, Chad. Thank you. Incredibly a busy night for you with the new restaurant opening and such.
Yes.
We understand. Are very excited and we're very proud to have our student representative serving on the commission. And our student representative, Lily Hanner, will do the introduction.
All right. Hear me good, right? Yes. Okay. Sorry. Nervous. Anyways, so for our next honoree is Chad Gardner. Chad Gardner is recognized for leveraging his businesses in a manner that benefits the community through donations, partnerships, and special programming at his restaurants. Chad has positively impacted the community through numerous nonprofit charitable organizations. His philanthropic support continued in the pandemic crisis, making a measurable impact on those nonprofits and the clients they served. He is a for-profit entrepreneur committed to helping the local businesses and the region's underserved citizens thrive. Chad managed through the COVID-19 challenges and helped address civic issues and the community's needs. He served on the board of the Main Street Palm Springs Business Association and the Mayor's Palm Springs COVID-19 Reopening Task Force. Recognized for his giving spirit and support to the community in good times and through the complex COVID-19 crisis, Chad Gardner is the recipient of the City of Palm Springs Human Rights Commission 2022 Community Service Award.
Okay, well, I honestly don't know what to say. I've been so busy with opening up a restaurant and a hotel coming on board and managing my existing businesses. I don't really have any prepared remarks. I want to say thank you. I have always thought that philanthropy was something that I was meant to do, as my husband and I have been very blessed. There wasn't a time in our lives when we had a lot to give, and we have felt that through our hard work that we've been able to give back to the community that's been so good to us. I am very honored to receive this, as I feel like a lot of my philanthropy we don't do for recognition, and that's not the reason we get involved and do the things that we do. I'm more of a behind the scenes kind of guy, and so this is very humbling, and I just want to say thank you for the recognition. It was completely unexpected, and I'm humbled by your recognition. Thank you.
Congratulations, Chad. Thank you. Okay, we will have our next commissioner do the introduction, and for the last award. So Kalina, our Commissioner Robles, you're on the hot seat right now.
Thanks, Chair DeHart. Good evening, everyone. It is my honor to be with you here tonight to present this Community Service Award to our next honoree, Dean Levine. Dean is recognized for his support of charitable and fundraising events that have helped improve the quality of life for those living in Palm Springs. When the coronavirus pandemic hit and restaurants and bars were ordered to close, it was an unprecedented situation for many business owners. Dean didn't slow down. As a socially minded business owner, Dean stepped up and served on the Mayor's Business Transition and Reentry Task Force, formed early in the COVID crisis. He contributed his leadership to help others in the community and served on the city's parklet design standards work group to suggest design guidelines and operational standards for parklets. Dean helped employees through the crisis, continued supporting community organizations, and offered his time to help shape policy to assist the business community in returning to operations amid a COVID environment. Dean is an example of what makes Palm Springs a charitable and hospitable community. Dean is recognized with the Community Service Award as a business owner who continues to have a positive effect on our community. Please welcome Dean Levine.
Yay. And in Dean's absence, we will accept the award and present it to him on a night when he's not having an emergency at the restaurant. So thank you for that. And now I will move into the conclusion of our program. Human rights advocacy is not for the faint of heart, but I urge you all to speak up. In an age of reimagined truth, it's more important than ever that we counter the distortion of facts and abuse of rights, the spin in the media and in the politics, by presenting the evidence and standing up for the rule of law. Human rights are not the domain of the left or for the right. They are there to protect the most vulnerable in our communities, to equalize the imbalances between the powerful and the powerless, and to advance fairness and equality for all of us. In these days, we need to reach back to those we've left behind to ensure that they have a voice and are integrated into all that society can offer. Every person, no matter their background, has dignity and value. Everyone has human rights, and those rights must be protected. Let's understand the rule of law and the maintenance of human rights that are connected, and that 57% of the world's population live outside the protection of the rule of law. That's 4 billion people struggling for basic human rights on a daily basis. We can do better. Fundamental human rights not only evolve through common law, they reflect community standards, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, and equality of all before the law. Finally, as we work to ensure fundamental rights are realized for everyone, let us in Palm Springs respect and rely on the common sense and goodwill of those who live here, because change happens when we work together. On behalf of the Commission, our gratitude and thanks to all the honorees who are contributing to advancing human rights in their own way. And we thank all of you for coming along and supporting this year's honorees. We conclude by saying, what a privilege it's been for me and all the commissioners to serve the city and the community. And again, special thanks to our city liaisons, Jay Verada and Annie Rodriguez, who keep us going strong. Thank you all for participating, and congratulations to the honorees. Have a wonderful evening.
Mr. Chair, Dean is with us.
Dean, you were presented an award in your absence, and I accept it on your behalf. But if you have an acknowledgement that you would like to give, we would welcome that.
I appreciate it and thank you. And it humbles me. This is I don't know. I feel that so many other people can be helped, and hopefully we can be part of it and continue the good work. Thank you.
Excellent. Thanks, Dean. Appreciate it. And that concludes our program for tonight. So we move into item 8 on the agenda, and that is adjournment. So the commission will adjourn to an adjourned regular meeting Monday, March 14th, 2022 via Zoom, I believe. Again, thank you all. Have a good night.